Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Rose, Managing Director at the Digital Economy Council of Australia, formerly Blockchain Australia. We are in the thick of it today on the global regulatory landscape. We're going across the globe, speaking to leaders in various jurisdictions, having discussions about what has worked, what's not working, what's happening in the weeds of it all. And as Australians, we often look outward to plan and construct our own regulatory rails. So this is a really important event, I think, just with respect to the data and the insights that we're gaining already across the US and New Zealand and the APAC region. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the next session, and it's all about Japan. So Keisuke Kimura is the legend behind the Japan Digital Assets Association. We have also recently signed an MOU, and we're going to do some amazing things together. We first met over in Japan at the Japan FinTech Festival. We've also got Hiroki Morita from SettleMint, who will be leading this conversation and having a discussion with Keisuke. Keisuke also, for those of you who attended the Blockchain Week here this year in Sydney, he flew all the way over to present at EY on the regulatory landscape, and it was phenomenal for that session. We had more phones out screenshotting his screens than any other session. So there's a lot of interest in what's happening on the ground in Japan. So without further ado, I am going to hand the stage over to the two gentlemen, and we will get this session started. Here we go. I think we have a glitch. Not the first one for today. Here we go. Thanks so much. I'll let you both take the stage.
All right, thank you very much, Amy Rose, and yeah, thanks for having us here today. Very excited, and welcome to the Japan session from rainy Tokyo. It's a heavy typhoon coming to Tokyo. Unfortunately, the weather is not good, but we have some exciting discussion ahead, and I'm hoping that the conversation we will have will give you some idea of the opportunity for Japan. So let's get it going without further ado. I'm with Keisuke Kimura-san. Keisuke Kimura-san, over to you for the quick introduction, if I may ask.
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much. And first of all, yeah, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really excited to be speaking at the DECA event again after the Blockchain Week in June. So myself, I'm Keisuke Kimura from Japan Crypto Asset Business Associations, and with which is the kind of the one of the largest Web3 industry body in Japan, and which has over 150 members in total from home and abroad. So, and also I'm running myself, my company, Wakyodo, as a kind of Web3 consulting company as well. That's the brief intro. Thank you. Over to you, Hiroki-san.
Thank you, Kimura-san. Thank you very much. So quick introduction myself. My name is Hiroki Morita. I'm a sales VP for SettleMint, Asia Pacific and Japan, leading our growth team for APJ region. Based in Tokyo. I grew up in Tokyo. And before joining SettleMint, I have been in the fintech sales role, driving innovation with financial institutions. And I joined SettleMint last March. And well, it's been a year and a half. I'm very new to digital asset, Web3. I'm very exciting. It's been very exciting. Before going into it, maybe a little bit about SettleMint. SettleMint is a blockchain transformation company founded in 2016, headquartered in Belgium. with 6 global hubs around the world, including Belgium, Tokyo, Singapore, India, Dubai, and we soon having hubs in Saudi Arabia as well. What we do is really help enterprise institutions to build business capabilities for Web3 and digital asset space, especially around blockchain infrastructure space. And we provide cutting-edge blockchain platform where the blockchain application from tokenization to supply chain traceability can be built on top of it. And on top of supporting our customer building application, we provide training, we provide application development support, along with our SI and strategic partner. And we have more than 100 institution customers around the globe, and that's who SettleMint is. Again, thank you very much for having us here. Happy to be here. All right. So let's get into our conversation. Maybe before going into really discussing about regulatory aspect, there was a large Web3 event called WebEx at Tokyo yesterday and day before. And well, me and Keisuke-san met each other and had a coffee together over the venue.
Yeah.
Keisuke-san, how was your experience?
Yeah, it was an incredible opportunity for me to attend there. Yeah, because for those who don't know about the WebEx, so WebEx is a kind of the 2-day Web3 or blockchain event to cover a hotel basement, and which is one of the largest Web3 or blockchain events in Asia or APAC region. And I saw packed with booths and also diverse speaker sessions, and also a lot of side events. And for me, like as a kind of personal highlight, I saw the session, the CEO of MetaPlanet, the kind of Japanese public company on Tokyo Stock Exchange, talked about their Bitcoin strategy, similar to the MicroStrategy in the US. And what was interesting was that the company itself, the market cap is only around maybe 200 million or so. So it's not too big, and also less liquid than like MicroStrategy. So they disclosed the plan to convert one of their holding hotels in Japan into a Bitcoin hotel in the future. That was interesting. And also, like, they disclosed they are planning to issue the negative yield convertible bonds in the future as well. Yeah, that was the most interesting session I had yesterday. The 2 days ago. Yeah. So yeah, what was highlight for you, Hiroki-san?
Yeah, that was a great event. Yeah, likewise. Well, my highlight is probably joining multiple different side events that's happening after the events until pretty late time. I bet a lot of folks are still struggling this morning.
Right.
But yeah, it was very interesting to see a mix between, enterprise institutions like NTT, KDDI, KPMG, one, for example, between, Web3 native people like crypto exchange, wallet, L1, L2, network provider, etc. So it's very great to see them like mixed together in one event to discuss about technology, regulation, innovation, business, and feeling like everyone is excited to drive this wave of Web3 into next phase as a team. And also a great mix of international audiences. I've met a lot of folks from Australia traveling to Japan, And even from North America, all the way from New York. I've seen someone from Africa as well, India, Europe, Asia. So yeah, it was a great vibe. No, it was just the event in Japan, but it was a very international event. So that was great, great event, and I feel energy from the people. That's the highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so also great. So like maybe actually last month we had IVS, which is another big event in Japan, and then we had WebEx this time. So and then maybe this continuous like the hot period for Web3 or blockchain industry temporarily is over now this year. But for you, the attendees today, who plan to visit Japan in the future to attend some events, maybe I recommend to see the Japan FinTech Week in March next year, because the Japan FinTech Week will be held hosted by the Japanese FSA, and also the Japanese one was the biggest media, Nikkei. So that will be also a good opportunity for you to have some connections with Japanese large companies or financial institutions or any Web3 projects as well. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Keisuke-san. So yeah, let's get into the regulation topic. As a JCBS representative, what's your current observation and current hot topics regarding the regulation around digital asset on your perspective?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking, Hiroki-san. So like our target as JCBA is to improve the local Web3 business environment better with the negotiating or communicating with the government or policymakers or the authorities like FSA or MITI or something like that. So like through our working groups, multiple working groups, we do lobbying activities and also often submit some proposals for the government. And recently, like in the recent topics, regulatory topics in Japan, like we had stablecoin regulations in Japan these days. So like, so the government updated its Payment Services Act in 2022 to cover stablecoins. And that key point was to separate regulations for issuers and also intermediaries. Intermediaries mean like maybe mainly exchanges, the crypto exchanges. And in that law, stablecoins are now called electric payment instruments. And the possible issuers for that stablecoin or electric payments instruments can be banks, money transfer services, and also trust banks can issue the stablecoins. And also, on the other hand, intermediaries or exchanges, there's a new special license for stablecoin brokers. And also here the flavors of stablecoins. So like we have two the definitions of stablecoins in the law. One is digital money type. The other is crypto assets type. The former one, the digital money type, is like pegged a stablecoin to fiat, and also the redeemable at the face value. The other crypto asset type, like for example, DAI, think DAI, regulated under which will be regulated under the current or existing crypto exchange regulations. These two types can be the stable coins, and also regarding the kind of overseas stable coins or USD stable coins like USDT or USDC. Could technically launched in Japan in the revised regulation, but there are some tough requirements like intermediaries have to save their whole assets in Japan, and also they have to like assure the hold backed JPY or the total amount of the issued stablecoins. So that's a bit high challenge for the intermediaries. But yeah, we'll see some use cases in the near future in the current regulation, revised regulation. Yeah. What do you think like about the stablecoins or about the related financial improvements in the current market from the business viewpoint of yourself? Yeah, Hiroki-san.
Right. Thank you, Keisuke-san. Very great insight. For me, as a SettleMint helping enterprises going into Web3, it's absolutely right now the hottest topic is stablecoin, as Keisuke-san mentioned. 2 years ago, new regulation has been passed, Payment Act, and I see many financial institutions, banks, trust bank, even the other type of institution, enterprise companies seeking to be a issuer of the stablecoin, or users, or sometimes making a consortium each other and making the JPY pegged stablecoin. And what we have found very interesting is that each institution's thinking about a different type of use case. So, some banks, some institutions thinking are really using stablecoin as for retail users for payment or money transfer, this type of thing. And then the other type of institutions thinking about using that in the community token or ecosystem token kind of the way. And the other one is more thinking about, making stablecoin as for kind of like L2 of current payment network, very similar to the idea of deposit tokenization, rather than in the retail field, more in the wholesale area, challenging against the current status quo of international payment to payment, or things like payment versus delivery over the different type of digital asset, for example, security token or even cryptos. So very interesting to see a lot of different use case. And one of the exercise that we are doing with one of the bank in Japan, Sony Bank. Sony Bank is obviously the banking financial capabilities within the Sony Group. As you might have heard, Sony Group is very aggressive in Web3 blockchain field. Recently, they announced working their own network called Sonium. And Sony Bank is also very one of the bank that's in Japan leading the innovation in Web3 field. And what we are working with them is to try technological POC to issue their stablecoin on public network, Polygon network. This is very fascinating, as a lot of financial institutions are somehow, risk adverse, sometimes tend to choose a private network to try it out, and as a roadmap going into the public chain. But the interesting decision making that Sony Bank did was to going into public chain directly rather than touching the private network. This is very interesting movement, and still in the process right now of developing. But this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting use case, as obviously Sony Bank has access to their group companies, entertainment, music, possibly PlayStations, many different entities. So the use case can be very interesting. So to me, a lot of excitement project going on from Japan about stablecoin, like you mentioned, Kimura-san.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, and also like I'm surprised to know that the SettleMint has collaborated with a lot of the like blue chip, the tier one blue chip Japanese companies so far. So yeah, I'm really impressed, and maybe hope to see the actual use cases, and also which will lead it to like mass adoption of stablecoins and also the crypto itself in Japan. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, well, this is not only in Japan, but everywhere mass adoption requires both sides, the retail user side and the corporation institution sides. It's like internet in
Right.
1999. Both sides need to be activated. Then mass adoption or the day-to-day infra as a blockchain or as Web3 will be realized. But the future is bright, I think, as I see it in WebEx and all the news coming in. This is really the exciting moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, so when we communicate with the government or regulators as at JCBA, yeah, so the regulator always said to us like what the justice for changing the regulation or improving the regulation, why? So like we always look for any use cases in Japan or anything abroad. So yeah, we would like to see lots of incoming use cases. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, use cases both coming from people or the corporation. I think that's a challenge. And regulation side, a lot of positive work has been done from the regulator in Japan, especially the FSA has been doing a great job. So yeah, I think that's collaboration between regulators, users, investors, corporate. That's the essential key. And seeing the regulation is for food. That's the concept. And as a teamwork, I think as I see in WebEx, I think it's moving in definitely a great direction. A lot of excitement. All right. I think the time is almost coming. Any words from you? Last words from you, Kimura-san, before we
Yeah,
wrap?
maybe that's fine. But yeah, other than Sony Group's use case, maybe we see a lot of other like SBI Group's announcement to invest in Oasis and game-focused blockchain yesterday. So yeah, maybe we'll see more and more incoming interest from abroad and also the outbound interest. So yeah, I'm excited to stay here, stay in this industry and to see that what will be in the future. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Exciting, Keisuke-san. All right.
Thanks so much, gentlemen. Really appreciate you joining us and having a chat with us about what's happening on the ground in Japan. We're going to move over now to the Philippines, Indonesia, and Vietnam. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. If you'd like to, you can join us in the next session. And for all those who are watching, I will see you very shortly.
Thank you very much.